This episode of Beautiful Bones revolves around Yuriko, Sakurako, and Shotaro's grandmas. And yes, I'm gonna take them in that order. However, Sakurako's and Shotaro's are gonna intertwine since minority of Shotaro's grandma's story takes place in Sakurako's house. But let's start with Yuriko's grandma, which, as you may remember, died in a previous episode of Sakurako, or to be more exact, she was found dead when she had fallen from that cliff I think 1 year ago, when she was climbing it to basically see the sunrise so she could get her body to, what's it called, release those hormones that makes you happy so she could keep caring for her husband. But in this episode, we find out that she had promised Yuriko that when she got married, she would get a painting from her. However, the grandma never revealed which painting it was. So, yeah, she asks Sakurako for help, and because she can't figure it out. And it's funny because we actually see how good a painter, what's it called, Yuriko was as a child compared to now. If you remember the episode where she thought a person would jump from a bridge to join her dead husband. And man, I like the face when she sees that on what's called Shotaro's phone. Man, oh man, that's so funny. But yeah, and Sakurako, she cannot decide which of the three paintings it is, and we actually get why she picked those three paintings, Sakurako. And the last one actually has a really sad story about a grandma who flees with her grandchild because the clan had betrayed them. And during that journey, she's getting separated by from her grandchild, and she searches and searches for her grandchild until she dies at the beach when she has pushed her aging body to the limit. And according to the story, her body became the rock, or shall say the rock or island or whatever you will, on that painting. And she's still looking after her grandchild. So this can be understood as even after death, she will still be looking after you. So yeah, but Sakurako tells her, as I already have said, that she cannot find out what painting it is because she doesn't understand emotions that good. She actually feels that stuff like that they are kind of useless emotions. And she tells Yuriko that she's the only one that can find out which painting it was that her grandma would give her because she knew the grandma better. However, even though Sakurako mocks emotions, she still cares for her the old lady with her. And I like the grandma, or gran as she's called, of Sakurako, because when Yotaro he brings 6 different puddings, or was it 8? I'm not sure. Gran tells Sakurako that because it's close to eating, that normal eating time, she can only eat one, and Sakurako is like, "Can I?" Like she's trying to say, "Can I not eat more than one?" And Gran says, "One," and then she raises her voice, and Sakurako still doesn't listen. And then Sakurako, man, she's actually scared of the Gran. And I also like when Sakurako has eaten her pudding and then reaches out for another, and then the Gran comes like, "Oh man." Also, I'm really happy because this Gran actually explains why Yotaro's grandma made him buy pudding from store, this specific store, every time he came to visit her at the hospital because he had been diagnosed with, I think it was bone cancer or metastatic cancer in the bones, which means that those bones slowly broke down, which is, from what I have been told, really painful. So what she actually did was that even though she hated pudding, she still made it for him before she was diagnosed with cancer. So what she wanted was to basically buy time because he had to call her and say that he wanted to visit her because then she could get some painkillers injected, and by having him basically take like 15 minutes to 15 minutes to get there, and then having to spend some time basically choosing one of two puddings from that store. She got the time she needed, so it appeared that she didn't suffer. And man, that's really great because man, the grandma, she didn't want him to see her suffer. So really great. I'm really saying that's beautiful. That was really beautiful. But then let's talk about Sakurako's grandma, because she has pain, her back pain. She has back pains, and Sakurako sees this, and you can see that affects him. So when Yotaro he goes home, and Sakurako actually says to him, "Take care." She says that they are going to the hospital, but Gran she says that she's not going to go to the hospital because she wants to stay as Sakurako's grandma until her last breath, which is really beautiful. Really beautiful, I must say. Also, there is again hinted that there's something with Shoutarou because Sakurako says to Gran, that boy, you know his name, he's Shoutarou. Yeah, so there's a hint, and then when she goes up in her room and looks at a picture of her what's it called, her and her brother, she says, time spent together, a beautiful thing. But it's time to end it, and then she flips up a picture, which could imply that Shoutarou may be the brother as he would have been if he had lived, and he actually never existed, Shoutarou. And it's time that what's it called, Sakurako ended, or I'm really not sure. I'm really not sure. I'm really looking forward to finding that out. And at the end, we see a girl, Hitue-chan, who goes out with her dog, Mimi, and she apparently has something. Either I think she's gonna commit suicide or something. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, wait a second. Butterfly wings. Butterflies, they symbolize destiny. So it is her destiny to get the sensei she likes, or it's her destiny to die to be together with the sensei, or when she dies she becomes a butterfly. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll have to watch the next episode of Sakurako, or Beautiful Bones, as I refer to it, to know that. But still, this was a really beautiful one, and I actually didn't think there would have been so much depth in it. But there was one point with the grandma when it was revealed why she made what's it called, Yotaro, take the long road to get those puddings, even though the grandma hated it. That almost made me cry. That almost made me cry because he was also buying those pudding because she knew he loved it, so he would always smile when he was near her, or visits her, and also even thought that he was basically wasting her time when he heard that reason. Gran, she actually explains to him that he wasn't wasting his time because you cannot take material things or money with you into the afterlife. However, you can take memories with you. So he actually gave the grandma something really good before she passed away. It would have been better than if he has given her some roses or stuff. So yeah, really beautiful. And with that said, I think I'm gonna say wish you all a good day, good night wherever you are, and go in and watch the latest episode of Sakurako, or Beautiful Bones. And then see you later, guys. Cheers.